So I guess I always knew I wanted to be a history professor, but I don't think I understood what that meant. My name is John Warsencroft, and I am an assistant professor here in the history department. I started working here in 2017, and I've been here ever since. I've always been drawn to history, especially after I served in the military, because I really wanted to understand how a relatively privileged guy like me, why I would decide that I want to join the Marine Corps out of high school. Like, what are the things that would make somebody want to do that? And history offered the answer for me in a lot of ways. I served a tour in Iraq in 2003. I did some other shorter stints in Ukraine, Japan, but most of my time was serving in the United States. My experience in the military kind of fundamentally shapes how I view military history. So kind of thinking about how I approach the study of the military, I study it from the perspective of gender, which means I'm really interested in how people's gendered how gender roles are shaped by war and shaped by the military broadly. I think that I came to that because, like I said at the very beginning, like one of the things that I was really interested in kind of studying history is why would a young 19-year-old kid who kind of had a relatively kind of privileged background, why would I want to join them? Why would I want to join the military? Gender studies actually provided the most compelling answer to that, more so than other kind of methods of studying history, because that really gets to the question of like pressures that are put on young men to serve in the military, and the kinds of things that societies reward mostly men for serving for. Those historical, that historical lens really resonated with me as I was trying to understand like my role in the Iraq War and my kind of place in the military and society more broadly. So for me, my military experience is impossible to uncouple from the way that I approach history and the way that I study it. Most students, when they come into my introductory classes, have an understanding in their heads about what history is or should be or was. And my idea is to kind of scramble that up in their heads and to get them to think differently about not just what history is, but then also what, maybe to get them to think differently about the world they inhabit.